Manchester City and Atletico Madrid have announced the transfer of Julian Alvarez. And let's be honest, we all know why the Argentine striker made that move, right? He realized he'd never be preferred over Erling Haaland at City. Rather than continue living in the shadow of the Norwegian sensation, he decided to check out. But Alvarez isn't the first player to make a move for this reason, and he certainly won't be the last. In this video, we're diving into 7 players who left their clubs to escape the shadow of a teammate. 1. Julian Alvarez, Erling Haaland's shadow. Julian Alvarez joined Manchester City in 2022, but just 2 years later, he's already said his goodbyes. Why? Because throughout his time in England, he was always in the shadow of Erling Haaland. Sure, Alvarez got a decent amount of playing time, but it was either out of position or when Haaland was unavailable. This is a guy who spearheaded Argentina's attack in their World Cup winning campaign in 2022. So when he decided after the 2023-24 season that he was too good to be in another man's shadow, you have to understand it. After a stellar summer with Argentina, winning the 2024 Copa America and representing them at the Paris Olympics, Alvarez completed a $95 million move to Atletico Madrid, a record sale for Manchester City. Did he make the right choice? We think so. He's already completed football, as they say, so why not go where you'll be the main man? But hey, there's always the cautionary tale of Neymar. 2. Neymar, Lionel Messi's shadow. Remember when Neymar left Barcelona for PSG in 2017? He made that move because he no longer wanted to be in Lionel Messi's shadow. PSG even handed him the number 10 jersey, signaling that he was the new king. But things didn't go according to plan. Neymar couldn't deliver the Champions League trophy or the Ballon d'Or that everyone expected. Instead, he became known as the prince who never became king. Ironically, staying in Messi's shadow might have been better for his career. But as we'll see, leaving a shadow can sometimes be the best decision. Martinez burned Leno's shadow. Martinez spent a decade at Arsenal, mostly as a backup, until an injury to Bernd Leno in 2020 finally gave him a chance to shine. He seized the opportunity, helping Arsenal win the FA Cup and Community Shield that summer. But when Leno returned, Martinez didn't want to go back to being the second choice. He asked for a transfer, and Arsenal agreed to a $20 million deal with Aston Villa. Since then, Martinez's career has skyrocketed. Aston Villa Player of the Season, Copa America, World Cup, Yashin Trophy, and even Champions League qualification for Villa. Clearly, leaving Leno's shadow was the best decision Martinez ever made. 4. Bernd Leno, Aaron Ramsdale's shadow. Speaking of Bernd Leno, he too eventually left Arsenal, but this time because of Aaron Ramsdale. Leno was Arsenal's number 1 until Ramsdale arrived in 2021 and quickly stole the spotlight. After a season as a backup, Leno decided he couldn't live in Ramsdale's shadow any longer. He made the move to Fulham, where he's now the undisputed number 1. The theme seems to be ongoing at Arsenal, with Ramsdale possibly facing a similar situation with the arrival of David Raya. 5. Sadio Mané, Mohamed Salah's shadow. Not all shadows come from players in the same position. Sadio Mané and Mohamed Salah played on opposite wings for Liverpool, but Mané often found himself in Salah's shadow. Both were crucial to Liverpool's success under Klopp, but Salah often stole the limelight. The lukewarm reception Mané received when he returned to Liverpool after leading Senegal to the AFCON trophy in 2022 was the final straw. Feeling underappreciated, Mané decided to leave for Bayern Munich. This move, much like Neymar's, hurt both parties equally. 6. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Lionel Messi's shadow. Before Neymar, Barcelona experienced a similar situation with Zlatan Ibrahimovic. The Swede joined Barcelona in 2009 but was gone by 2010. Why? As Zlatan himself explained in his autobiography, it all started when Messi wanted to play in the middle rather than on the wing. The system changed and Zlatan was relegated to the bench. Not one to live in anyone's shadow, Zlatan left for AC Milan first on loan in 2010, then permanently the following year. Classic Zlatan. 7. Claude Makelele, Real Madrid's Galacticos. Let's wrap up with Claude Makelele. His situation was unique because he wasn't in the shadow of just one player, but rather an entire group. During the early 2000s, Real Madrid was building the Galacticos, bringing in superstars like Figo, Zidane, Beckham, and Owen. Despite being one of the team's best performers, Makelele was overshadowed by these bigger names. Frustrated, he asked for more respect and a better contract, but Madrid refused. So he handed in a transfer request and joined Chelsea, where he was much more appreciated. Madrid, on the other hand, struggled without him, failing to reach the Champions League quarterfinals for 6 straight years, which eventually led to President Florentino Perez's resignation in 2006. There's now a fear that history could repeat itself at Madrid, with someone like Rodrigo potentially getting tired of living in the shadow of the club's newer stars. So what do you think? Will we see more players making similar moves in the future? And can you think of other players who left their clubs to escape the shadow of a teammate? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new content.